Welcome back to another reading vlog. I'm so happy you're here. My name is Chris and I love a good thriller. I love all genres of books, but I am at heart a huge thriller lover, and I am in the mood for such a popcorn thriller, very twisty, dark vibes. But I'm also in the mood for a lot of other stuff. Gotta love a mood reader, right? In this reading vlog, we have 4 candidates. I'm not sure if I'll get to all 4. I might get to 3, but I'm gonna try to do all of them because I'm really trying to tackle all my physical books right now on my shelves. And the first one I've been meaning to read, and I'm feeling it. And it is gonna be The Wives by Tarryn Fisher. And I've heard nothing but good things about this book. And this is about 3 wives that essentially have the same husband, and they all know that this husband has 3 wives. Each wife has a purpose, but then some dark stuff happens. You thought you were fine with the arrangement, but you can't help yourself. You track her down, and under false pretenses, you strike up a friendship. Hannah has no idea who you really are. Hannah starts showing up to your coffee dates with bruises, and you realize she's being abused by her husband, who, of course, is also your husband. Oh my God, this sounds so good. This is exactly what I'm in the mood for. So I'm absolutely gonna get to this. So that's book number 1. Number 2 is one that was just on my Dollar Tree book haul that I found at Dollar Tree for $1.25. First of all, the cover is beautiful. And I did say in that video, if you guys wanted me to do a reading vlog with those books that I found. So I decided to try one first. So I'm gonna try this one, and this one is a vampire book, and I love a good vampire book. This has Dracula. This is giving me like The Dowry of Blood, and that is one of my absolute favorite books ever. So I definitely want to get to this, so I'm excited for this one. And the third candidate is going to be Julie Chan is Dead. I just got this in my Aardvark box for May, and I've been hearing amazing things. This is about 2 twin sisters that are 2 totally different people, and one of the sisters is a huge influencer, and it has the influencer trope, which, you know, I'm not a fan of, but if done right, I would like it. And I'm hearing this is done right. And apparently this gets really dark. The influencer sister is found unalived. The twin that is still alive takes her life and starts becoming the influencer sister and sees what it's like to really be an influencer. And I heard this gets really dark, and I love dark. So this sounds like it's gonna be a wild ride. So I'm very, very excited for this one. Last book is the book that I don't know if I'll get to in this vlog, but it does sound interesting, so I'm really gonna try. And this one my husband actually gifted me for Mother's Day, and it is from Nora Roberts, and it's called Mind Games. I've never read anything from Nora Roberts. Apparently she's very well known. So I'll just tell you a little bit of what it's about. But it says, Thea Fox is getting the life she always wanted. She's become a video game designer, a job that allows her to move back to her childhood home in Red Bud Hollow, Kentucky. She lives in her own cozy cottage down the road from her beloved Grammy and her house where she grew up. And when her neighbor turns out to be her teenage crush, the gorgeous lead singer of Code Red, Tyler Brennan, it seems that life can't get any better. However, it hasn't been getting here. Thea carries the burden of a special ability, one that she shares with Grammy. They can both see into people's minds and souls. Sometimes they can even see the future. Grammy calls it a gift, but ever since the day when Thea saw her parents getting murdered in a dream, it felt like a curse. Thanks to her vision, the police caught the man who did it and put him behind bars. But no matter how far the killer is, Thea can still hear the twisted thoughts and witnesses his evil acts. He knows it because he can see her mind too. And now he's made it his mission to get the ultimate revenge. That sounds so good, and I love anything with abilities or powers, mind, you know, reading someone else's mind. I think that's so cool. What a unique concept to make a thriller with special abilities. I just think that's so cool and unique. So I want to get to this, but I just don't know if I will. So we will see. If I don't get into this in this reading vlog, you can absolutely see this in the next reading vlog. But these are the books I will be reading in this vlog. I really hope you enjoy, and if you do, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And let's get to the vlog. got to chapter 8. Is reading so fast and very entertaining. There's no fluff is from what I'm getting. I mean, I'm only on chapter 8, but it's just so fast paced and I love that. And it's already starting to get a little bit eerie because her sister hires that private investigator to find her. She makes this whole a whole video for her YouTube, how she found her sister, their reunion after all of these years, and just very dramatic entrance. And so afterwards, Chloe blindfolds Julie, which is our main character that we're following, and she takes her to this house. And come to find out, Chloe bought her this house because she wanted to do something good for her sister after all these years, and just a load of baloney, okay? Just doing everything for clout. So and then it goes 3 years later, they haven't even spoke. After they go into the house and they're done with the video, Chloe just turns into her normal self, I'm assuming, and she's like, okay, see ya. Hasn't spoke to her in 3 years. So Julie is feeling a little sour about that. She's like, I was feeling like I had my sister back and it was just a facade. And there was actually a part in the book that I had to tab because I literally cackled out loud, because she's kind of going through her social media and stalking her socials. And in one of the parts where she's stalking her socials, she's looking at all the comments and stuff like that. One of the comments was like, what happened to your twin? Chloe wound up replying, Julie isn't a public figure. We all need to respect her privacy. And so Julie's reading this. She goes, sometimes I wanted to reply, hey, I'm here. She only used me for her video and she's actually a fucking I was like, oh my God. This is her commentary and it's just humorous. It's sarcastic, and that's the kind of humor I love. So that's kind of how the verbiage and the writing is going. So yeah, pretty much Julie feels a little salty that she kind of just ditched her and never spoke to her again, until she gets an eerie phone call from her sister, and all she says is she's mumbling and she can't really hear her, and she keeps saying mistake, mistake, mistake. And then she says, sorry, Juju, which is her childhood nickname for Julie. And so it becomes super eerie. And now Julie's like, oh, maybe it's another prank video for her socials, and she can't get it out of her brain. And it's kind of haunting her at this point. So she decides to take a bus ticket to New York and to find her and see if she's okay, just to relieve her brain. So she just off of a whim goes to New York, and when she's outside of the building to her sister's place, she doesn't have the key or anything, and it's freezing, and the security guard recognizes her. He's like, oh, hey, but he thinks she's Chloe, and she just goes with it. She's like, okay, yeah, I'm Chloe. And so he lets her in the building. She's in her house. She is looking around, and she's kind of feeling salty. She's like, damn, what if I was born first? Would my life be different? And man, it touches a nerve for me too, because I don't come from money at all, and life was hard, and life is hard. We go through so many things. It's an expensive world out there, and I go through my own mental things. So I'm really relating to this main character, Julie, and I'm really liking the discussions we're already having. And we're also discussing family trauma, which I love in my books as well. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that. And where I just left off on chapter 7, we find Chloe's body. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. We're getting into the good stuff. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And don't worry, that's not a spoiler. It's literally it's literally in the synopsis, and it's really in the beginning of the book. So that's not a spoiler. So far, really enjoying this. This is definitely feeling like 5-star feels. So we shall see. Good morning, vlog. So I'm trying to be quiet because my family's still sleeping. It is currently 5:30 in the morning. This is kind of my normal. I always wake up at 5 o'clock or earlier, drink my coffee, watch a little YouTube, have a little me time. This is how I I have to wake up every morning or I'm just cranky. But I wanted to give you an update on Julie Chan is Dead. So I did finish it, and I am gonna rate it a 3.5 star. You know, in the beginning it was really good. I felt like in the beginning it was grabbing me with its like comedic commentary with Julie. I really liked being in her head. I did like the important discussions. I liked how they were talking about how social media can be very toxic and you can kind of forget who you are. So I really like that aspect because it's very true. But, and this is what I was hesitant on in the first place before getting this book, was the social media aspect, because I don't really like following books when it comes to social media and influencers. And I don't know, it just feels very Gen Z, and I have nothing against Gen Z or anything, but a lot of Gen Z talk and slang, like I just don't like it. It's an ick for me. It drives me fucking crazy. And I was just hoping, because I was hearing a lot of good things about this book, I was just hoping because I was hearing a lot of things about this book that, you know, it would be good. But I have to say, towards the middle of the book, it was so much Gen Z slang from the other characters. So Julie, obviously, she took over her sister's life, and she was getting introduced to Chloe's friends, the other influencers, and they were insufferable. They were insufferable. Oh my God, they were so annoying. Like in the beginning, it was okay. Like, you know, you're trying to grasp who they are as a person. But it was the whole entire rest of the book that whenever they were talking, it was like, oh, totally. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Like it was so like, oh my God. It was so cringy. It was driving me crazy. I was just like, okay, I don't care about these people anymore. So that was really, really like bringing the rating down and down and more down. But then we get to the part where they're planning for months, so it's been months. She's been loving being in Chloe's life. She's acclimating really well. She's you know, all of her friends love her. She's started doing the social media, you know, taking over the social media that her sister was doing, and everyone's loving her. She's loving the attention. It's becoming kind of an addiction for her. And so they're leading up to this point where they're gonna go on this like friends vacation, and it's very secretive and it's private, a private island that one of the like friends, that's kind of like the leader of the pact, I think, is planning. So this, you know, it's time for them to go on this vacation. They can't use their phones or whatever. So it was kind of giving me Blink Twice vibes, if you've seen that movie. And I loved that movie. That's like my top movie ever. I loved Blink Twice. So I was like, ooh, okay, is this where it's gonna start taking a dark turn? I'm down for it. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for something to happen, because really there was nothing happening in the middle of the book. So you know, we get there and things are getting weird. Things are getting eerie. So I'm liking the vibes once we got to that island. It wasn't the outcome of Blink Twice or anything, so I'm not trying to give that as a spoiler. It was just the vibes. The vibes, what was like Blink Twice, but not the outcome. It was a total different outcome. And I didn't not like the outcome. The outcome was fine, but I just felt like it was so predictable. Like, it was way too predictable in my opinion, and I don't know. I just expected a little more, and it was not dark. In my opinion, I don't think it was dark. It was like, okay. It was okay. I don't know. People were saying this gets really dark. I don't think so. This is not dark. To me, this book was very PG. I didn't care. Towards the end, I was just like, okay, let's just finish this up. Let's wrap it up. But I just lost interest. It was okay. I can see why people like it, but it just, I don't know, I expected a little more. So I did rate it a 3.5 star. And then I immediately, after that, jumped into The Wives. That was definitely something I was in the mood for. I was like, okay, you know what? I need like a little popcorn thriller after that. I need a little something that's, you know, gonna grab my attention. And that definitely grabbed my attention. So I was like consumed in that one. And there we're following a woman named Thursday. and she is married to a man that is also married to 2 other women that she calls Monday and Tuesday because those are their days and her days are Thursdays. So we're following her her POV. There's only one POV, which is Thursday. She's an unreliable narrator, and that could be a hit or miss for me. So, but the whole, the book so far reads very good, very mysterious. You want to know what is going on. You could tell she's like a devoted wife. She's obsessed with her husband. She only wants to make him happy, things like that. She loves catering to her man. So that's kind of the person she is. And then one day she finds a receipt in his pocket with a woman's name that she thinks is one of the wives. And there ensues her sleuthing and trying to find and uncover who the other wives are, because she wants to know why her husband needs 2 other women. She starts hyperfixating on these 2 other women and trying to uncover them, and she starts just asking herself why does he need this, and just kind of being insecure in a sense, even though she has agreed to this arrangement. So we're just following her right now. It's very interesting. I'm really enjoying it, but I will give you guys an update when I'm more far along or finished with the book, because I'm about 50% in already. So I will see you guys a little later. Hello guys, it's a little bit later. I have gotten ready, of course. I'm not looking like a crazy person like I did earlier, but I wanted to let you guys know that I did finish The Wives. I did rate this a 3.5 or 3.75 star. This went a route where I don't normally like, because it was unreliable narrator. I started feeling like it was gonna go that route, and it kind of did, and it was just, it fell a little flat, but it still was a good read. So if you've been eyeballing it, if it's been on your shelf, I encourage you to pick it up. It was good. I wanted to know what was going on. And then I also finished Reluctant Mortals this morning as well, and I did rate this a 3.25 star. I feel like we're having a lot of 3s. They're okay reads in this vlog. They're just not, they're not pushing the... I had to go into my car because I needed some privacy, because my kids are home, my husband's home, and I can't concentrate. I got kids yelling in the background, and we're about to leave to a coffee shop. So I wanted to give you guys an update because they're going to be home all day. It's Sunday, so I'm not going to have the time to update you properly. So, like I said, I did finish Reluctant Immortals, and I rated it 3.25 star. I enjoyed... It was a slow burn, you know. It was a slow book following Lucy, and Lucy is a vampire that's been running away from Dracula for a very, very long time. But she's a little different than your normal vampire. She doesn't die like a normal vampire, like a stake to the heart, she dies. She does die, but she always comes back, just like Dracula. So Dracula sees her as, you know, very unique. So she's been running away from him for a long time. While she was running away, she did find another woman named B, and they just connected, kind of held on to each other for support. And B was running away from her husband that locked her in an attic for a very, very long time, and he
was a very horrible man. And it's funny because I think they actually collabed with two stories, Dracula and Jane Eyre. And I know I've heard the name, but I'm not really familiar with Jane Eyre's story. But I was trying to look it up, and I guess Jane Eyre was the wife of Rochester as well after B. And Rochester finds this, they're not quite sure, like they don't say it in the book. And that's where I felt like a little disjointed, because I'm like, but what is it? I need to know, like, what are these things? Because we keep saying, oh, well, something crawled into her. So something dark, we know, crawled into B in this attic. Now she doesn't die either. She's immortal, but she's not like a vampire or anything. She just doesn't die. That was like question marks still, because they never really answered it. They just they were very mysterious about it. Not sure if I have to read like Jane Eyre, like that book, to kind of understand, because I have no idea. And so B and Lucy are running away from these two horrible men, and Lucy finds a way to capture Dracula. She has to put him in separate urns, but not regular urns from the soil he was created. So she made these specific urns so that when she can get him to turn into ash, she separated all his ashes into different urns in different locations, because together they're stronger. So by separating them, they're weaker and they can't really, he can't populate again. He can't form his body. That's like what we're following. We're following her, always trying to keep these urns separated, and their journey of feeling like someone is always there behind them and watching them, because she could still sense Dracula, like she can kind of hear him and whispering things to him. He's whispering things to her, like trying to make her become the vampire he's always wanted. So she's trying to fight the urges. She refuses to kill people. She refuses to eat, to drink blood. So she's fighting these urges, going through obstacles, because Rochester finds B and hell ensues. Rochester is trying to help Dracula now find his ashes. So now, there's this whole journey of just trying to kill these two people, pretty much. It was good. I just felt like there was a lot of unanswered questions, and the ending I did enjoy. There was a lot of women empowerment, a lot of quotes that I did tab, saying that how men control our lives, and they're always trying to control our lives, which I do appreciate. I like that. But yeah, I just felt like it was too slow, and I wanted a little more. I wanted more vampire moments, and there was only like one vampire moment. So anyway, it was okay. I feel like this vlog is not going as well as I thought it was gonna go, unfortunately. But that's how it is sometimes. That's just how the journey is when you're reading books. They were okay. They didn't blow my mind, So I figured, I read those books pretty fast, and I have time for one more read. And my friend Mikeland on Instagram just did a review on Lucinda Berry's newest book, 1 and 4, which is on Kindle Unlimited. And it sounds very intriguing. She was telling me about it, and she rated it a 5-star, and she is stingy with her 5 stars. She's very stingy. So I was like, if you're reading this a 5-star, I'm intrigued. So I think I'm gonna read that one next, and I think that'll conclude this reading vlog. So I will update you guys when I start reading that and give you my thoughts while I'm reading it, and then we'll just do a whole wrap up at the end. Hello, I'm back home. I've been home for a little bit, and I am continuing to read 1 and 4 by Lucinda Berry, and I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it. This book starts off straight from the beginning. Like, you're already getting dove into the action, and I love that in books. I just love when they just like throw me in there, It's like, oh, you need to learn how to swim? Well, I'm gonna throw you in, you're gonna learn how to swim and survive. It's kind of like that. Like, I love when a book does that to me. So I'm currently, I don't know what chapter I'm on, but I am about 20% in. So I'm still in the beginning, but we are following a therapist. There's a group of children celebrities in a house for a show, like a reality show.
and there has to be a therapist, or there is a therapist on site. They need any help mentally because they are addicts. So we are immediately diving into this story with someone calling the therapist and telling them that an accident has happened in the house and they need to get there immediately. So she's scrambling. She's like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? She gets to the house and police are there and no one's letting her in because they're taking this as like a homicide or it's a crime scene. We're not sure what's going on. It's definitely keeping my attention. We're also following a POV. We don't know who, but in the chapters, it stated her. So her POV we are following, and I'm assuming it's one of the addict stories because the story is kind of following in on how she became who she is. We're also following a Dr. Laurel Harlow, and it says that she is treating a mansion full of former childhood stars on the road to recovery. One of them turns up dead. And yeah, this is just really fast paced. I'm really excited. It also says, in a house full of narcissists vying for the spotlight, everyone is hiding something, including Laurel. An investigation could expose a past she'd rather keep buried. But among the attention-starved patients, only one of them is a predator. And Laurel is skilled at spotting a predator when she sees one. That sounds so good. So we're not only finding information about this POV her, but we also are finding information about Laurel and her past. And one thing I do know about Lucinda Berry is that she is a dark, dark, dark author. So I'm craving that because the last couple books that I was reading in this vlog, I thought were gonna be dark, but they were not, in my opinion. And I know Lucinda is not going to fail me. I know for a fact she won't fail me because her books have been traumatizing in the past. I've read Appetite for Innocence from Lucinda Berry and also Saving Noah. And I loved Appetite for Innocence. That shit was dark as fuck, but it was really good. And Saving Noah was also dark as hell, but like, whew, I had to breathe after reading that book. It was very traumatic for me. I was like, oh my goodness. So I know she won't fail me, and especially my friend. I know she has great judgment, so I'm very excited and I can't wait to read more of the book. So I'll give you guys an update when I have more information.
Good morning vlog. So I did finish our last book for this vlog this morning before I started getting ready for work, which was 1 in 4 by Lucinda Berry. And I have to say, I'm so glad I read this book. I rated this book a 4-star. This, just like Lucinda Berry, she is one of the best authors when it comes to representation and mental health. Your triggers, obviously, with any Lucinda Berry book. This was very dark, but I just love the important discussions on addiction, SA survivors, SA victims, and also depression, anxiety, just all of those important conversations that you just don't know what people are going through. So just try to be kind. I was feeling so hard for the main characters in the book. I just really connected with them and I just felt for them, and it just made my heart ache, and it just reminds me how much I love reading. I really enjoyed it. I think it's one of my favorite Lucinda Berry books that I've read by far. I'm so happy I read it. The twist was good, like the ending was really good. It was just a great book, and it's a short read. It was like 240 pages, so I really recommend it. It was really good. So I am gonna end the vlog here because I work all day today and I am having a busy day tomorrow too. So I just want to close it out. I really hope you liked the vlog. I know it was a little hit or misses. I hope you're having a great day, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe and leave your comment on what book I should read next. See you in the next vlog.